fucking monthly payment is like $1,600 on my student loans.
Not me entering my final stage of full-blown crash out. I'm literally crashing out.
I'm 35 years old and in $169,292.74 of debt, and I still live at home with my parents.
The truth is, I am in $135,000 worth of student loan debt.
165 monthly payments on $125,000. How much do you think I still owe? $78,000.
I'm 26 years old and I'm in $95,487.73 worth of debt.
I have paid $15,000 towards my student loans since I graduated in 2018. So the past 6 years, I have put $15,000 towards my student loans, particularly my Parent Plus loan that the original balance that we took out was a little over $17,000. And I have paid $15,000 towards that loan over the past 6-ish years. You want to know what my balance is now? My balance is still around $15,500. So that means I have spent $15,000 over the past 6 years for my balance to only go down by like $1,500. That means I have spent $13,500 roughly to just interest. And that is the issue with student loans and why people want them to be forgiven and people want reform is because of the interest. The interest makes it nearly impossible for a normal person to pay off their loans. I have no problem paying off the loans that I took out from the government. I have no problem paying them back. I have been paying them back. I've been making my payments every single month, but the interest makes it impossible for you to be able to actually pay down your principal balance so you can pay them off one day. The interest compounds daily, not like a normal car loan or like a mortgage or credit cards or anything like that. Like student loans are so different and the interest goes up so incredibly fast that unless you have large amounts of money to make large payments to pay down your principal, you are just basically never going to be able to pay off your student loans. And it's absolutely insane that I have essentially wasted over $13,000 the past 6 years trying to pay off these loans. And my balance has only gone down about $1,500. That's absolutely insane. It literally makes me sick to my stomach that I have wasted that much money over the past 6 years by being responsible and paying my loans. It's so gross.
I'm crashing the fuck out. Because who let an 18-year-old decide to take out a student loan? $90,000 was my original amount. I know that's a lot. I know I'm stupid. Whatever. I don't fucking care at this point. There's nothing I can do about it. But $90,000. I'm 30 years old now. And I haven't looked at it because I'm like, ignorance is bliss. I don't want to fucking know how much money I'm paying. I pay $1,000 a month, and I've been paying $1,000 a month ever since I graduated in 2017. I don't know. That's a lot of money. It's over my amount, and I looked today. I still have to pay another $122,000 before I'm done. Like, what the fuck? Like, so I'm gonna pay $200,000? I'm struggling. Just, like, everything is so fucking expensive, and $1,000 a month would literally change my life. And I have 118 more payments left until I'm done. Like, that's crazy. Like, tell me that's not so insane. And people who say, oh, well, you shouldn't have taken out a loan if you weren't prepared to pay it back. I am prepared to pay it back. I've paid it back. I've paid back how much I took out, but interest rates are so crazy that I still have $120,000 to pay? Look me in the eyes and tell me that's fair. Tell me it's fair. Tell me it's fair that anybody has to suffer and struggle this much because when they were 18, people told them, go to college. It's going to help you get a good job. You're going to be able to pay back this loan. No problem. Why? 18 years old. Like, you should have known better. No, I shouldn't have. I was a child. A literal child. And now here I am, 12 years later. And I can't live. I literally cannot afford to live. I can't afford to live. So, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Literally, what am I supposed to do? I'm just...
This message is for Miss Sally May. Miss Sally, you big, fat, nasty, smelling fat. Back in 2018, I took out a loan from Miss Sally May.
It's a student loan that is a bar passage loan, basically. So it's a loan that you take out after you've graduated law school and you're studying for the bar and you can't work and you can't use the degree that you just got until you pass the bar, and taking the bar is extremely expensive, and then you still have to do things like eat. So I took out this loan, $10,000. That is a lot of money, yes. And before anyone comes in my comments, I absolutely knew that I was going to have to pay it back. That is not what this is about. I am not under the impression that I can take out a loan and not pay it back. So hold your tongue, Karen and Ken. Today, I went to make my payment on this loan like I have every month for the past 6 years. 74 months, to be specific. And I looked at my account and I saw how much I still owed. And I said to myself, that cannot be right. That has to be a mistake. I did the math. The payment varies every month. It has like a variable interest rate, which don't even get me started on that either. But I took the lowest payment and I times it by 74. And if I had only made that lowest payment, I have paid $9,250 back on this $10,000 loan. And that's the low end. So I've definitely paid more. Guess how much I still owe? Go ahead, get a number in your head. Think. $8,400. That is predatory. That is so messed up. Okay, girl, yes, I was gonna pay it back, and yes, I knew you were gonna get some interest. Like, absolutely. But oh my God, by the time I will pay this off, I will double the loan. I wonder why people are hollering about their student loans. This is what I'm talking about. It's not that I don't want to pay my loans back. It's not that I don't want to keep a commitment I made. It's that y'all are running people dry. Anyway, Sally, if I see you.
Okay, but if I'm being really honest with myself, I have a lot of shame around my student debt that I just kind of bury and pretend isn't there. But I really do feel just so gross about how much debt I felt like I had to take on in order to escape the impoverished life I grew up in. Listen, looking at my student loan interest each month oogs me out because I can't do shit about it right now. I have so many other bills to pay that I have to wait until that, I have to do as much as I can to pay those things off before I can jump to my student loans, because they are thankfully in forbearance, so I don't have a minimum fixed payment I have to make on them each month until next November. So until then, I'm trying to lower my fixed expenses as much as possible because my freaking monthly payment is $1,600 on my student loans. Who can afford that? Not me. So I am constantly in a panic about it. It's not that I panic about them all the time. It's just that the thought's always there, you know? I live my life, but at the end of the day, it's still oh, you know what's accumulating interest today? Your student freaking loans. And it sucks because I want to pay them back. I want to work to pay them back. It's just so much. It's just so much money. It's $174,000 worth of debt and accumulating more every single day. I have paid down $26,000 of my debt though, collectively over the last few years. I still have $30,000 more to go. We're working on it, I will say we're working on it. It's a long process. Some days it's totally fine. Some days you're oh, actually, I don't feel good about that. Actually, one freaking bit, bro. Oh, help.
So as it turns out, the student loans that I've been paying $1,500 a month for 2 years have a 17% interest rate. So what I thought I've been paying off for all this time, I'm actually, I owe more than what I started off with. What the fuck? So, Jeff Bezos, this would be a really cool fucking time to Venmo me, bro. I owe $90,000, and I didn't even spend that much on school. Any rich person, please tap in. Kourtney Kardashian, you probably have 8 houses. I'm never gonna be able to buy one because I went to college. I just signed up to be an egg donor. Guess what? Got approved. Who wants my fucking kids? I can't afford them, so start a bidding war. Just fucking take them. What do you want? My left arm too? What the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm gonna be in debt for my whole fucking life. How does that even make sense? I signed up for this shit when I was 17. This should not be legal, bro. I got upset about it at work, and my coworker was like, don't you have a rich relative who can pay that for you? No, my family's poor. No. And the worst fucking part is, bro, look where I am. I can't go in because I can't spend money, but I just
35 years old and in $169,292.74 of debt, and I still live at home with my parents. And you might as well bump that up to $266,722.97 in debt if you add in how much I will pay in interest. I started aggressively looking at my debt in January and truly didn't know the full financial picture until I got it all down on paper. Debts include 2 private student loans, 10 federal student loans, 1 auto loan, 1 private loan, and 13 credit cards. I've already taken some drastic measures to reduce spending and start side hustling. I started posting my debt payoff journey here on TikTok in hopes of growing and getting into the creator fund. So if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching and following. I'm selling my debt tracking template, I'm door dashing, donating plasma, selling items around the house, and doing TikTok shop to try and make a dent. I made some really good progress so far thanks to an annual bonus I got from my 9-to-5 job, but I've got a long way to go. I've been able to negotiate most of my interest rates on my credit cards down with the help of a debt management plan, but the interest on my student loans is wild. My 2 private student loans have interest rates of 12.75% and 8.9%, while my federal loans range from 5.8 to 6.6%. The private student loans are from my undergraduate degree, which I earned over 15 years ago. I would probably puke if I knew how much I had already paid. And to this day, I think about all the frivolous things I bought and did when I was in my teens and 20s with this money, and wow, if I would have known I would be paying for tank tops and fun nights out at bars 1,000 times over the next 15 years, I might have made some different choices. Even though I've already paid off about $31,000 of debt so far this year, I'm still not looking at being debt-free until 2040. I honestly cannot imagine another 15 years of paying on this debt, especially with so many other life milestones I want to achieve, like buying a house and having kids. I also just got engaged, and it truly makes me sick thinking about how I am bringing more than $150,000 of debt into our marriage starting out. This is not a video to complain by any means because these were my own choices and I'm working to pay back what I owe, but I hope sharing this can resonate with others, and if you want to follow along on the journey and like and follow and share and all that fun stuff, that would be great.
Student debt in America has become a lifetime sentence. Interest rates are sky high. The cost of living keeps rising, but wages? They haven't moved in years. People are trying to survive. Rent, groceries, gas, and somehow still pay off student loans they took out when they were just 17 or 18. Kids, really, doing exactly what they were told. Go to college, get a degree, it'll pay off. But for millions, the math never works. One guy said he borrowed $60,000, pays $550 every month, and after 17 years, he still owes $54,000. How is that even possible? Another person started with $120,000. Now it's over $200,000 because interest never stops. You make payments, but the balance barely moves. Student loans feel predatory by design. The harder you try, the deeper you sink. People are freaking out. They're working 2 jobs, skipping meals, drowning in bills. Yet their loans grow like a shadow they can't outrun. This isn't education. This is financial prison.
The truth is, I am in $135,000 worth of student loan debt because I decided at the age of 18 I wanted to go to a private Catholic university, not because I'm Catholic, but because I was the only school I could tour during COVID, and I had no clue how much it was actually costing me. I didn't realize how loans worked. I didn't know what I was actually signing up for when I got Parent Plus loans. I didn't know my interest rates were going to be upwards of 9%. And the truth is, now I live in my parents' attic. I just graduated 4 months ago, and I already feel so stuck in life. I'm doing everything in my power to educate myself. I don't have any consumerism debt, maybe like $30 on a credit card for gas for the perks, but like I don't have credit card debt. I don't have a car loan. Obviously, I don't have a mortgage and I'm not paying rent. So I don't know how to pay this off. I'm really trying to live frugal, but I'm also prioritizing to save money for my future because I am contributing my max amount to my 401k and my retirement plan, and I really want to max out my Roth IRA this year. But the issue is I'm making a salary, a good salary for someone immediately post-grad. But at this rate, I don't know how people are having families on the same salary that I'm making. I'm scared for my future, in all honesty. And it's not that I don't want to pay the debt, it's the upwards of 9% interest. Are you what? And when you apply for Parent Plus loans, correct me if I'm wrong, when I applied for this money, it didn't tell me the interest rate. It just gave you the money, and then you found out the interest rate after you had already received it.
If you didn't want to pay back your student loans, you never should have taken them out. I paid back my student loans, why aren't you paying back yours? There's no responsibility anymore. These are just 3 of the stupid comments I've seen today when people are talking about the student loan repayment process. And what I think they aren't comprehending is that people aren't saying they won't pay them back. They're saying it's like physically impossible to pay them back. Many student lenders are predatory, and no matter how much you pay and for how long you pay, the balance never goes down. Making a comparison for older generations who paid back their student loans, what was your student loan payment? Like how much did you go to school for? Because I guarantee you it's not what people are going to school for nowadays. It's literally per semester the price of like a luxury vehicle. And then not only that, the cost of living has gone up because yes, we do have bills to pay. We cannot just pay our student loans and nothing else, but the wages have not gone up. Now, I'm not even speaking for myself. I have a master's degree. I luckily only have FAFSA loans and I don't have any predatory lenders, and I'm not on default or behind, and I'm paying back my student loans and I don't have a lot of them. But it just is such a stupid argument to see people come on here and just express how ridiculous it is. And not that they won't pay them back, that they are paying them back, but they physically cannot decrease the balance. And like all I can think is, I don't want to hear anyone bitching and complaining when there's nobody going into healthcare and there's no one to work in healthcare systems to take care of anyone because it is financially impossible to get into that field anymore. Like, I don't want to hear it. And unfortunately, I feel like this is another like fuck around and find out moment, because all of these people in the comments who think the people making these videos are lazy, when like the majority of the ones I've seen are people who work in healthcare and are doing like amazing work and working their asses off to not be able to afford their loans and also just living.
Last night I had to log into my student loan account to print out the paperwork to have my taxes done today. So I got to get a glimpse of my student loan balance for the first time in, I don't know, presumably a year. I honestly don't remember knowing what I owed still. Now, for a point of reference, I graduated in 2011. Okay, so I've been making student loan payments for almost 14 years. I actually did the math. It was about 165 monthly student loan payments that I've made so far. Okay, now I went to pharmacy school. I'm a pharmacist. That's a doctorate degree. It took 6 years. I went to a private school, not because I wanted to, but at the time, there were only 6 schools in the state of Pennsylvania with a pharmacy program. 2 of them were state schools, 4 of them were private. Chose the school I chose because they gave me a $12,000 a year academic scholarship for the first 4 years. So I got $48,000 worth of academic scholarship. So that's why I chose that school. So my education, even with the scholarship, cost still like $250,000, roughly. Now, I'm fortunate. My parents paid for a really good chunk of that, over $100,000. I don't remember the exact numbers, honestly, of how it all washed out. But I do know when I got my first student loan bill in the mail, well, I almost shit a brick, but my balance was like right around $125,000. Okay, 165 monthly payments on $125,000. How much do you think I still owe? $78,000. Yeah, I don't know. The math isn't mathing. Now, full disclosure, I did refinance at some point, which is a horrible idea. Like, at the time, it seems like a good idea because the monthly payments are so like overwhelming, but in the long run, you're screwing yourself when you refinance the student loan. You just are. So 165 monthly payments. I never deferred it. I never missed a payment. And I still owe $78,000. And I've been out of school for 14 years. My oldest turns 10 next week. So realistically, if she decides to go to college, I'm going to be still paying my student loans and likely still owe like $30-some thousand on my student loans when I'm trying to figure out how to pay for her college. And I don't know what the solution is to this whole situation. I don't think loan forgiveness is fair. I don't think taxpayers who didn't go to college should have to have their tax money pay off the student loans for those who did choose to go to college. I don't think that's fair at all. But I do think something needs to be done because universities are charging like obscene tuition. Student loan companies are doing predatory lending to children and setting up people for like a lifetime of debt. Like, you're starting out your adult life with like crippling debt. And I don't know what the solution is here, but something isn't working.
I recently posted about the fact I'm 26 years old and I'm in $95,487.73 worth of debt, and I want to talk about it. Up until 24 hours ago, I did not know that was actually the total of all of my debt, credit cards, and student loans. That number also does not include my auto loan, and if we are adding in my auto loan, the total number is $110,938.83. Since totaling up all of my debt, I don't think I've actually gotten one good breath of oxygen in the last 24 hours. I feel like there is an elephant sitting on my chest, and I don't think I can sit still because all I keep repeating is $95,487.73. All of this debt was racked up through decisions I made between the ages of 18 and 26. My first associate's degree I got from a community college and I didn't have to pay for it because of the Pell Grant, but I decided to go to a university and got my bachelor's degree, which is where I really started to rack up the debt. Then in the last 2 years, I decided to finish a nursing degree at a community college in the last 2 years, but that's where I started to rack up even more debt. What really sucks is realizing that the majority of these student loans is not from tuition. It's actually from living expenses and living way above my means. My debt comprises of 2 credit cards, 5 federal student loans, and 5 private Sallie Mae loans. I can handle the federal student loans, but when I tell you Sallie Mae is bending me over and not in a way I like, it's actually insane. Sallie Mae is genuinely evil and they prey on young students. And the reason why they take advantage of young students is because they know if you're reaching out to a private loan like that, you genuinely need it. Out of the 5 Sallie Mae loans I have, one of the interest rates that is the highest is 16.28%. The lowest interest rate I have with Sallie Mae is 9.88%. Now, my federal student loans are between 4 and 6%, which I think is manageable. Although I had parents who would tell me what I should or shouldn't do, I never had anybody really sit me down and fully teach me financial literacy. I never had anybody sit me down and really explain to me the scope of what I was doing and what it would look like in the future when I had to pay for it. In the moment, all of the student loans just felt like fake money because they just kept coming and I just kept spending. I don't regret any of the experiences I've had between the ages of 18 and 26 or any of the things that I've done, but I do wish that I managed my finances way better than this. I think what's even more sad is a lot of these student loans were going to rent, which my rent was around $1,200 a month, and that's been consistent over the last 2-3 years. Thankfully, I do have a finance bro as a boyfriend, and he is really great at managing money and managing wealth, and so I am working with him to do a snowball effect. If I snowball all of my loans at the current rates that they are without consolidating them, I can pay all of this off by 2032. It's really sad because I'm excited about starting my first nursing job next month, but at the same time, I know that all of the money I'm making is going to debt. I'm turning 27 this year, and I wish I could be thinking about starting a family or getting married or buying a house, but really, I can't think about anything but paying off this debt. The last thing I would want to do is bring a child into this world while I have debt hanging over my head. So it almost feels like my life is kind of on hold right now, but I feel like it's even more motivation to just pay this off as quickly as possible. It is what it is, what's done is done, and at the end of the day, if you are in your early 20s and you're thinking about taking out student loans, I urge you to reconsider and ask yourself whether or not you really truly need it. If I knew then what I know now, I would tell myself that no experience, no desire, no want is worth the stress that I feel now.
Imagine graduating college, excited, hopeful, and then waking up 13 years later still owing $80,000, even after paying tens of thousands of dollars. That's the reality for so many Americans. These loans don't behave like normal debt. You pay and pay and pay, and somehow you owe more. People with good careers, stable jobs, families, they're terrified to even check their loan balance because it triggers anxiety. Some borrow just enough for tuition, and now the interest alone is bigger than the original loan. This system traps people. One missed payment because rent went up, interest spikes. A medical emergency, fees stack up. Suddenly your future is gone. Millions are living paycheck to paycheck, drowning under debts older than their kids. They're watching friends buy homes while they can't even qualify for a credit card increase. And the saddest part? They did what society asked. Go to college, work hard, chase the American dream. Instead, they were handed a lifetime of debt they may never escape.
The other thing about student loans that I feel like nobody's talking about is that it is not good for all of your under 40 workers to not be able to buy a house, save for their retirement, invest in their children's future, have kids, and now they're trying to pay us $5,000. It is not good for us to be spending the equivalent of our rent on student loan payments. That's bad for the economy. We can't buy stuff. We can't buy houses. We can't contribute in any way to a booming economy. We can't have kids. Like, that's not good for the future of the country. They think that the future of the country and the future of the labor force is in peril because women, like, don't want to take on the work of having to, like, breastfeed or something. What? We can't afford it. We can't afford it. And that's exactly why you don't saddle your entire working youth, like multiple generations of the under 50 youth of the country, with student loans that they can't discharge and they can never get out from under. Their entire paycheck is going to survival and student loans. That's bad for the economy. That's not good. How is nobody talking about this?